Every every time you make that noise, I just want to go bum bum bum.
Is it your Tourette's?
But just to like screw with my family because they absolutely hate the noise. So now I do it. Like I did it compulsively just to fuck with them. Now I just do it because I can't stop doing it.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop. Can't stop the beat. Won't stop.
That's not. It's not.
Won't stop. Can't stop.
That's not what I meant. Stop. Thank
Can't
you.
Stop the beat.
No. We can't stop, and we fucking will.
Are we live?
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
we're
that's
live.
we're
That's
live.
why we are stopping.
Oh.
Making sure that we have sound, making sure that we're all good. Is there an announcement made and everything?
And my end if I press the button, which I
I
refuse to press the
checked.
button.
I listened. I checked. Everything sounds actually pretty good right now. So
That's so poggers.
No, please.
You're so poggers today, Milk.
Like it. Don't like it. The liking, I do not. The amount of liking I have is negative.
It's too
Anyway, okay. I will count us in because we have a limited amount of time before Enigma has to go. So 5, 4.
I have to pretend to be an adult for a while.
Enigma, I'm literally counting in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Shitfaced Shitfics, where the fix get shittier every single week. Your Shitfic readers for today are Enigmatic Otaku for a limited time.
I'm drunk and taking a piss.
Flutter Priest.
Digging up a fresh cocksock.
Milk.
I'm holding the shovel for Priest.
And Rav.
I took a shit.
This implies that we're pissing and shit into a grave.
And I'm a non-pencil, and if Enigma interrupts me one more time during this intro I'm trying to get through, I'm going to put him in timeout. Okay? Well, here we are at Shitfaced Shitfix, and what we do here is we pick fics from the internet, and we read really, really shitty ones, which is what we're going to do today. We have 4 lovely fics for you, and we're starting with a My Little Pony fan fiction that is not on Femfic. We're reading one called The Twilight Tale of Bellafly. This is a story about ponified. Let's just say it's ponified Twilight. It's really poorly written ponified Twilight. And I say Twilight, not like Twilight Sparkle. I mean Twilight the book series.
Oh, you mean the trash that needs to be burned? Got it.
Yep, that's what we're doing. What we're doing. So head there and go to chapter 1 if you would. You guys all have the link. Please don't ask me to get it for you. It's really just a tiny scroll up. Does everyone have the link? Does everyone have it?
Yep.
I am in link.
Chapter
Yes.
1.
Yes. Milk, are we there as well?
Yes, I am in fact on this chapter of which you speak.
Okay. It looks like a lot of chapters. It's not. This is less than 2,000 words. So today, reading the parts will be Priest as the narrator.
Hi.
I will be Bellafly. Trixie will be played by Milk.
I guess I'm gonna sound like this for that. I don't know yet.
Thank you. Shining Edward will be Rav.
I'm not sure which voice to use for him yet.
Well, I mean, you're a smoldering teen vampire, so smolder and be a teen vampire.
Oh, you want me to go hard into that? Okay.
Yeah, just smolder, man. And
All right, I gotta bring my mic closer for that, so I can
Dad.
be right in your ear.
That's the way we want this. Dad and all others are going to be Enigma.
Oh, so I'm supposed to leave at the end of this, right?
Yeah, you can leave at the end of this if you want to. And it's appropriate. It is appropriate, and it's something you have plenty of experience with secondhand, isn't that right? Yes, good.
Secondhand, I thought it was firsthand.
Well, no, because you weren't the one leaving. You experienced the leaving of somebody else.
What would third hand leaving be?
Like you heard about it, I think. I heard about it third hand. Like, I don't know. I'm making a guess. Why is this important? We have to read the story, Enigma. You're leaving soon.
Maybe I don't want to read the story or
Well,
stuff like
fuck
that.
off for reading it. Okay, Priest, please start.
This is the Twilight Tale of Bellafly, Chapter 1.
By? By who? It says at the top.
By Midnight Moonstone.
There we go. Thank you. And the description?
A young Pegasus named Bellafly comes to a mysterious town with her dad. Rated Fiction K. Bellafly stepped onto the car. She had not ever been to a new town, but her dad made them move to nowhere for his work. She looked around, and it was raining all over the ground, drenching her in sorrows. Bellafly was a silverish white pony with a brownish tan hair who had a radiant sun cutie mark on her butt. Because of her cutie mark, none of the boys liked her because she shined brighter than anyone and the town was dark and mean. She had no friends because they were at her old town where she was not living any more because she had moved. Her new house totally sucked because there were no internet connection, and the TV was baddish and had only Weather Channel, which sucked because she did not care about the weather except when it was sunny, like her cutie mark, which was a sun cutie mark that was as golden as the sun. Her
This is written
room.
by a 12-year-old. Oh my god.
That's why we're doing it.
There's a lot of phonetical errors that you aren't hearing because they sound correct.
Yeah, like 2 as in number 2.
No, one with a K.
Her room was tinier than a cardboard box, and she could barely get her wings in past the door because it was too small. After moving in a week, she was sitting on her kitchen, eating horse feed foozed, when suddenly a bat came through the wall. It was a magically sparkling bat that sparkled in the sun when the sun hit it. Bellafly yelled,
Ah!
and she hit it with a broom out the window.
That was scurry, she thought.
I.
I hope it comes back.
That night she had dreams about a super hot pony who had beautiful red eyes and could turn into a bat. She couldn't understand what it meant. Her dad worked her up and said,
Bellfly, it's time for school.
She said,
Oh no, I don't want to go to school.
end of
Next.
chapter 1.
Are we going to be okay, guys?
What is this pain
No.
you have unleashed upon us?
I warned you guys.
I kind of fucking love it.
It gets so much worse, too.
Chapter 2. The next day, Bellafly Wito school. Today she was sad today because life was sad, so her sun cutie mark was blocked by a cloud of sun cutie marks. I didn't know cutie marks could change.
Her cutie mark is a GIF.
She's
God.
a weather. She is a weather predictor. On the card right there, she saw how cloudy it was, and then she looked at the trees and forests. In the bush, she saw evil, glowing red evil eyes watching her in the car going to school.
Dad, there is somebody out there.
She said,
Don't be silly, Bellafly. There is nobody there.
Bellafly's dad was a boring pony with a gray color coat and a brownish mane. His cutie mark was Ranch.
Wrench.
Ranch, okay. Because Hugh worked at a car shop where they fix cars. He
Wow,
never
rude.
understood Bellafly, so because He couldn't see her for who she is.
Oh,
He moved to
God.
Greyhorstown for an EU job at a car shop, so Bellafly had to leave her friends at her old town. At school, Pom Pom Sparkle picked on Bellafly because she was not like the other cheerleader, who were all alicorns and beautiful. Bellafly went to the library where they didn't bother her or the I equals other nerds.
I hate it here.
She said.
I hope something happens. I want to go home.
He said.
Oh.
She cried in her room all night. In the lunchroom, Pom Pom Sparkle threw a can of turnips at her main face.
Yes.
Said Pom Pom Trixie.
There's no quote.
You're ugly. Bellafly looked down at her lunch tray backslash, or is that, no, that's a forward slash. I apologize. I'm not reading this properly. Everyone was jerk but her new friend Trixie.
Look over.
That's Enigma. You're Chloe. Enigma, just say look over there.
I'm brushing my teeth.
Say look over there.
Where?
Why are you brushing your teeth? As we're
I'm
reading
getting-
a fanfic!
Stop, Enigma.
I'm getting.
Enigma, just say look over there.
Look over there.
Said Chloe. Oh, there's a quote.
Sure, I will read it. In the corner there was a bunch of beautiful unicrons. They all sparkled beautifully like a summer train.
Who is that?
Asked Bellafly.
That's Shining
No,
Edward
no.
and
Now it can be milk.
That's Shining Edward and his friends.
said Trixie.
Everyone wants them.
Says Trixie. Bellafly looked over and saw Shining Edward staring at her with a long, deep look, and she blushed. No, that's blushed.
Have you been drinking yet?
Not yet.
He was the pretty sit pony she had ever seen,
He gorgeous.
said Bellafly.
She knew they had to be together.
I am uncomfortable.
Are you blushing at this fiction?
No,
Good.
I'm just uncomfortable.
Oh my god.
Not
I
even a
mean,
little bit of blush.
I need an adult, somebody who can spell.
Little
That's
bit of the
okay.
blush.
We're gonna do this. We got this. Let's do it. I believe in us. Let's go.
Chapter 3. In science class, Bellafly saw him staring at her. It was Shining Edward. He was so hot in his desk. She stared back at him, not wanting to lose him. She would look back at him also. So are they just like unblinkingly staring at each other?
Yeah.
She was dissecting a frog using polarity factors when
What?
he came over to her.
So she's just unblinkingly staring at him while like sawing a frog apart.
What the fuck?
Is that how you attract women?
Yep.
Apparently.
All right. It's your time now.
I'm your science partner.
He said. Bellafly couldn't
This is
believe
good.
it. He was even more perfect up close.
By the
He
way, I
had
love
a-
that it's was every time.
Yeah,
Wuss.
I've been reading it as wuss.
Yeah, was. It's was.
Was. He had a beautiful dark copper sparkling mane that spackled in the sun. His teeth were as bright as White Fang, and he had a single fangy coming out of his mouths. He had a golden half moon cutie mark that had a single drop of blood coming off its knee drops. His eyes were green, red, and bluish with brown. What? How?
Those colors don't mix.
No.
No,
makes
it's
brown.
a particular eye color. It's supposed to be like a hazel type color.
I don't think so. I think this person is just like, I like these colors. It is all these colors.
His eyes are RGB.
No, my one of my exes had an eye color like that, and she told me it was hazel. So
That's fair, but like the red, I think honestly this person isn't
the
describing
red was
hazel.
a little far.
Yeah,
The
I
red
don't
was a
think they're
little far.
describing hazel. I think they're just an idiot. Anyway, let's continue.
I wish my eyes were RGB like my computer. He was gorgeous.
Are you sure? That was a horrifying description.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Said Bellafly. Shining Edward sat down next to her and stared longingly at her, and she also did that.
Who are you?
Bellafly said.
You will know soon.
Oh, that's scary as fuck.
I know, right?
Is this a horror story?
I mean,
It's about to be.
Yeah.
Said Shining Edward, and he left the classroom.
Enigma, just say who was that? Okay, Enigma. All you have to say is the words. Who was that? Thank you.
Said Chloe.
I don't know.
Said Bellafly. End of chapter.
And Enigma's really leaning into that absent father role there. I think just a little too hard for all his others, you know.
It's okay.
I'm getting in character.
I think you have like no more lines in this story, Enigma, but I might be wrong. So let's find out.
I'm just imagining Life is Strange Chloe just like randomly like piping in.
Oh my god. So this is gonna be fun, Rav. Please get ready.
Oh boy.
Chapter 4. After brushing her teeth. Oh! Enigma does have a place in this story!
Please continue.
After brushing her teeth, Bellafly went to bed. Outside her window, there was a swarm of bats and a wolf howling at the moon. She heard a noise in the corner of her room.
Who's there?
She said.
It's me.
Said a voice.
Oh, hi, Shining Edward. I didn't see you there.
Good job. I get what you put down there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Said Bellafly.
I like to watch you sleep.
He said.
That's so nice. Let me just tell you, I actually gave this book a shot when it came out when I was in college. This isn't that far off from their actual conversation about him.
It's so true. So I did when I was an edgy teen. I read Twilight too, and this is actually so accurate.
I mean, I saw the movie when it came out because I was looking for a reason to get out of the house. So, and it was the only thing playing.
But I looked like, oh, he looks after her while he sleeps. I'm me sitting here who had a stalker who used to watch her sleep, going, yeah, it's okay to give to kids. Nope. So
one of the things that always kind of killed me, and this is slight pivot, but like once I didn't know that 50 Shades of Grey was originally like a Twilight fanfic and then was adapted to original fiction.
Oh my god.
And once you start like watching the movies or like seeing it as like this was originally Twilight, you can't unsee it. It's kind of hilarious.
Oh my god. Anywho.
I'm far more concerned now.
She said.
Oh no, that's
This is Edward.
It is.
Edward.
I'll see you at school tomorrow. School, okay?
Said Shining Edward.
Okay.
She said. Shining
That's
Edward
what she
then
said.
jumped. Shining Edward then jumped out of the window and ran into the woods, and Belle followed him. She couldn't see in the dark at night, and she kept tripping over roots in the dark.
Why are you here, Bellafly?
I wanted to see you.
Okay.
I need to show you something.
Okay.
Shining Edward grabbed Bellafly and put her on his back and flew through the woods like a Pegasus on to the mountain in a flowery field. Isn't he actually a Pegasus?
Yeah. He's a bat. He's a bat bunny, remember?
Oh, right.
She's a Pegasus. She should be able to fly, but they're not taking advantage.
Edward then took off his shirt and walked into the sunlight and started to shine like a sparkling stream,
You're glowing sparkles.
said Bellafly.
This is the real me.
Said Shining Edward entered the moon and held Bellafly close.
Hold on. Under the
so
moon,
bad.
but the line before literally says in the sunlight. What fucking time of day has both?
Don't judge.
By the way, remember, anytime we lose our shit, you have to take a drink. You can see why I chose this story.
I can answer that for you, Milk.
I don't need an answer, but just the absurdity of the situation.
Christ.
Oh, fuck.
This takes place on Tatooine.
We're more than halfway done. We can do this. Come on, guys.
Okay.
I love you, Bellafly.
I love you to Shining Edward.
From the bushes, a pair of evil eyes watched them holding each other, and the evil person's eyes squinted evilly and then disappeared.
You know, I didn't get far enough in to find out if the other guy is in this. We might need another guy. I don't think so, but we might. In which case, like Milk, I'm gonna have you be the other romantic interest if that happened.
Okay.
His name is Jacob Pencil.
I don't know what his name is in this. Her name is
No.
Bellafly, okay? I don't know what her name is gonna be, okay?
It'd probably be like woof 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 Jacob.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
All right, let us continue. Please let us continue.
Chapter 5. Bellafly and Edward walked into a fancy Italian restaurant. Shinigward was super old, so he had a ton of monies and could get fancy dinners for them.
I want the cheeseburger.
Can we get that as a fucking ringtone? That's gonna be my new ringtone for Pencil. Just she'll call me and just says, "I want the cheeseburger. I want the cheeseburger."
I just like that.
There was a pause.
Yeah.
I said, I want the cheeseburger.
I want the cheeseburger.
Yeah, just my disappointment is immeasurable.
Said Bellafly to the Quater guy.
I want a taco.
What the fuck?
I thought they were an Italian place.
It is!
No, they're eating out.
But burgers and
I
tacos.
get it, Rob. I get it, Rob.
Said, oh, I get it now.
Oh my
Said Shining Edward.
Shining Edward, I thought you couldn't eat people food.
Said Bellafly.
I can tonight.
Said Shining Edward. That's good, said Bellafly.
Why did you come here?
Said Bellafly.
I need to tell you something.
What?
Said Bellafly.
I'm a vampire. Bleh.
Said Shining Edward.
Oh my god!
Said she.
How long have you been like this?
Said Bellafly.
For 500 years ago, bleh.
Said Edward.
I was born during the Roman Empire, and my father was a great general named Caesar Julius, and the leader of the Greeks.
Screaming! Screaming uncontrollably! Shrieking! Shrieking and screaming!
500 years ago, Caesar Julius, and he's Greek. Where the fuck is any of this coming from?
Classic minor screams.
My god.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is why you need Trojans, folks.
Oh
God.
my god. Okay. Please.
Bellafly couldn't believe it. She hadn't known how old he was, but she still loved him for who he is because she loved him.
That's Edward.
Oh, it is. Fuck. I thought that was yours. I'll never leave you ever, Bellafly.
Bellerfly.
said Shining Edward.
I'll love you too.
She said. They left the Mexican. They left the Mexican restaurant and walked down the street to her car. Suddenly, the bad guys jumped out of the alleys, and they jumped out of the alleys, and they jumped out of the alleys, and they had fire powers.
Okay, how fucking rude is it to ask for a cheeseburger at a Mexican restaurant?
This is
What?
an
It was Italian!
They transitioned to a Mexican restaurant while they were sitting there. All right, it was
it's like the restaurant in the Needle over in Seattle. It just rotates and there's different restaurants.
Oh my god. Okay.
And eventually you
Okay.
get to a different one in 20 minutes.
We have two more. We have two more, guys. Just two more. It's easy.
Chapter
Oh.
6.
God, this wall of text.
It's so little, but we know it's gonna be bad.
We call it a paragraph.
Yep. Not this one.
No, this is not a paragraph.
Not when it's written like this. Please continue, Priesty Pie.
Parodies. The evil shadow guys jumped out from behind the alley, and Bella could see that they was evil fire werewolves. Werewolves!
Fly, look out!
Said Bellafly as he pushed her out of the way. That was close, he said. More and more fire werewolves were coming out of the busy crowd walking by, and they turned from normal earth ponies into evil demon wolf ponies with wings. They flew tormentingly, making large, mean flapping noises as they flew, shooting out four lasers beams at Edward.
Who are these guys?
Yelled Bellafly as she ducked away from a fire werepony wolf.
They're the enemies of all vampire ponies. The Crimson Fangs.
He cried.
That's still you.
Still me?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. They attack vampire ponies since our kinds have been fighting for ages and ages.
How do you beat them? Bellafly asked.
Is this the narrator or is it me?
I think this is the narrator.
It is.
Yeah, it's the narrator now.
If we want to beat them, I'll have to go full vampire and use the power of the moon, he said.
But Edward, if you use the power, you could die.
Cried Bellafly.
If it's what I have to do to protect you, it's totally worth it.
Said Edward. Bellafly watched in fright as Edward's fur turned white with the moon power swirled around him.
No, Edward, no.
Cried Bellafly.
We go.
I'm actually really fucking loving this story.
It's so bad, right?
I'm having a fucking great time. Okay, here we
Is the
go.
restaurant Japanese now?
This
Oh,
is the
yeah.
this is the big final climax. This is it. Chapter 7. Bellafly tried to run at Shinjing Edward, but it was too late. The ultimate
Wait a
moon
second.
power.
What is the word? Shinjing? It is Shinjing.
Good job, Shinjing.
Congratulations, Shinjing! The ultimate moon powers had taken him, and he was hypnotized by the power of the moon, and didn't hear her yelling at him.
Oh.
Her.
No, Edward, don't let the evil moon powers overtake you. You could die.
What's his name?
Edward.
Edward.
She said, but it was too late. His fur was moon white and his fangs had grew larger. There was bloodlust in his eye. He started to attack the werewolf ponies and ripped their wings off. The the werewolf ponies tried to run because their fire powers were being beaten by the power of Shining Edward's vampire moon ice.
Stop it, Edward. You'll hurt them. You'll hurt them.
Go on.
Oh, that's right. Cried Bellafly as she pushed through the crowd of earth ponies. She didn't want him to become a monster. Edward was punching the werewolf pony in the face over and over again, and their blood was everywhere because the power of the moon was too strong, and it was overtaking him with madness. Bella knew she had what she had to do. Running through the crown, she pushed the dead werewolf ponies aside and hugged Shining Edward. As she hugged High Ninum, his hair turned brown again and his fangs got smallerized.
Edward.
Oh God. How do I even say that second word? I guess Bellafly Yowie saved me, said Edward,
It looks like it says a
holding her
woo.
in his arms.
I would do anything for you, Edward, said Bellafly back to Shining Edward. They hugged and were in love.
Author's note. Guys, sorry I haven't been posting. I lost all my drafts for the story because my mom accidentally threw them out, so I had to write the all over again. It sucked, and I was really mad at her, but I'm okay now. I'm posting more stuff now that it's summer, lol. Last updated in 2013.
Yeah. That's the
You're
story.
if the author of is watching this, your mom did you a favor, I'm sure.
So, what do we think, guys? What are the reviews on this one?
It tastes like
Congratulations,
burning.
Congratulations.
That's precious. It burns us.
Yes.
It freezes. Nasty it's twisted it. Take it off us.
Congratulations, Shin Ching. Congratulations, Shin Ching.
Would order tacos at an Italian restaurant again.
Remember though, it's Mexican.
Oh,
No,
Italian Mexican.
Cheeseburger.
guys,
You
guys,
order a
guys,
cheeseburger.
guys.
I want the cheeseburger.
It's French food, didn't you know? Their tacos are French. All right. Okay, well, that's our first story. Good job, everyone. The next story we're going to is much better written, but that doesn't make it a better story. Our story for right now is called Winnie the Pooh Assimilated by the Borg. That's in fact the name of it. Winnie the Pooh Assimilated by the Borg.
When was this written?
Last updated 2001-11-07.
It says Peter Malick posted this to Alt Star Trek Creative in 1996. Unlike most
Ooh.
repeatedly forward humor, this arrived with his original Usernet header on it. So this is ancient fanfic, you guys. This is like crazy early. So we're reading a very old
The
fanfiction
carbon
piece.
dating on this.
Yeah, like we're gonna read an old fanfiction.
Oh
by-
God, I was in second grade in '96. What the fuck?
Yeah, so this is written by Peter Malick. So, Peter Malick, wherever you are, whatever you're doing with your life, we're going to read this story of yours, and your memory will live on forever. And, yes, Milk? He has very few lines, luckily, and after this, Enigma will be leaving us. Not like dying that we know of, but you know what I mean.
I'll be, just shuffling off my mortal coil. Nothing big.
It's fair. So Winnie the Pooh, Rabbit, Pooh Borg, and Gopher will be played by Milk.
Oh no.
I will be narrating. Eeyore and Storl will be Enigma.
Mark Lump. Who the hell is Storl?
I don't know, man. Just Tigger, Owl, and Piglet will be played by Priest. And Christopher, Robin, and Hanson, whoever that is, will be played by Rav.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who Hanson. Like,
I don't know. I think they're Star Trek people, and that's coming from me. That's coming from me.
What if
You
it's
say Hansen, and I think Chris
They-
Hansen. I'm thinking,
yeah?
oh,
What if it's just Christopher Hansen?
They
No.
sound like red shirts.
No, it's the
probably-
band.
No, like this is probably genuinely characters from Star Trek that are people I don't remember, but that's fine. Anyway, are we ready?
yeah.
Here we fucking go. Winnie the Pooh assimilated by the Borg. Rabbit was in his carrot patch, looking over this year's crops. Yeah, you're Rabbit.
My oh my carrots are smaller than normal this year. I don't know how I shall survive this winter. My oh my.
Joking.
Rabbit was so busy in fretting over his carrots that he didn't take notice of the unusual creature that appeared in thin air behind him. At the far end of his garden, the creature was half man, half machine. It had strange armor on that made strange noises as it walked. Its face was completely devoid of color. I choked on my own spit. And it had hoses projecting out of its chest leading up to its head. It began moving towards Rabbit. Rabbit was beginning to look over his cabbage patch when he fancied he heard something behind him. He turned to see this creature lumbering toward him, right through his beloved rutabaga patch.
Stop!
He shouted.
Go back!
The creature paid no attention to him and continued toward him. Now, if Rabbit had watched television, in particular if he had watched Star Trek The Next Generation, he would have instantly recognized this creature as a Borg. However, Rabbit did not watch television, as he did not have a television. The creature reached Rabbit, and he started to cry.
Why oh why?
Rabbit murmured.
Why did you destroy my rutabaga patch?
The Borg paid no attention to him, and instead proclaimed in a doomsday voice, and I mean, I'll be Borg. You will take me to Pooh Bear. Rabbit looked up at the Borg and said,
What about my rutabagas?
The Borg replied, rutabagas are irrelevant. You must comply. Rabbit became very defensive when he heard that rutabagas were irrelevant.
And if I don't?
Then you will die. Rabbit never felt the Borg armature hit him, that swung up at him. The Borg continued on its way.
He fucking
Rabbit's
killed
fucking
Rabbit.
dead.
He just fucking killed Rabbit. Damn.
I'm fucking dead.
Damn.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh was in his house performing his stomach exercises.
Who's regular Winnie the Pooh?
You're still regular Winnie the Pooh.
Up, down, touch the ground, put me in the mood, swing up, down, two, in the mood for food.
I
Thank you
sang
for
in my
doing
head.
it correctly.
I
Yes.
sang it in my head so loudly when you said it. Ugh. When I up, down. Sorry. Hoover then went to his cabinet to look for a pot full of honey. Since he had eaten most of it up, and being a bear of very little brain, he began rummaging through his cabinet. As he dug deeper into it, he took no notice of the Borg moving towards his house. As he shouldn't have. After all, it was still about 100 yards away, but it was picking up speed rapidly. Pooh Bear found a pot full of honey and began eating it. He stuck his nose and mouth into it, and pretty soon his whole face was in it. As a result, he didn't see the Borg smash down his door. He heard it, though.
Who's there?
He muffled through the honey pot. The Borg did not respond. Instead, it grabbed him rather roughly and pulled the honey pot off of his face.
Hey,
Pooh Bear said,
what about my lunch?
Lunch is irrelevant. It has been decided that a stuffed animal voice will speak for us in all communications in the 100-acre wood. You have been chosen to be that voice. Pooh Bear, being a bear of very little brain, did not quite understand the Borg. So he complied as the Borg picked him up and took him outside. Owl was in a tree some distance away when he saw Pooh Bear and the Borg leave Pooh's house. He flew down to see what the Borg was and what he wanted. As he was flying, the sky suddenly grew dark. He looked up towards the sun and saw this huge gray, cube-shaped thing approach Pooh Bear and the Borg. Owl suddenly became frightened, landed, and darted behind a tree. As he watched, the gray cube hovered over the tree in which Pooh Bear lived, and Pooh Bear and the Borg began to dissolve in green light. After they were gone, the cube emitted a strange blue light on Pooh Bear's tree. He continued watching, and the house disappeared, leaving this great crater in the earth. The cube then began flying away. Owl, seeing his friend Pooh Bear gone, began to fly after the gray cube. He had almost reached it when this blue light hit him, and he fell to the ground unconscious. Sometime later, he woke up in pain.
I must tell Christopher Robin what has happened. And that's all I saw.
Owl concluded. Christopher Robin thought a moment.
Oh, you're telling me that this machine man took Winnie the Pooh up in his gray cube?
Yes.
And you followed?
Yes. And I got hit by some strange light when I fell to the ground.
And Pooh Bear's house disappeared.
Yes.
Christopher Robin walked over to his bookshelf.
In some of these books, I've read stories of half man, half machine people. But they are only stories, and in all of them they are good.
He indicated a copy of The Wizard of Oz.
Like this one.
I agree with you, Christopher, but I know what I saw, and for once, I'm at a loss for words.
Well, if we are in trouble, I want everyone here. Owl, fly out to everyone's house and have them meet me here. Oh,
Owl,
God.
greatly relieved, complied.
Yes, of course, right away.
He took off. Tigger stood ready. He was ready to bounce Eeyore again. Just like last year, he thought, I'll bounce Eeyore into the water and get invited to his birthday party again. As he was thinking, he didn't notice the sky was getting darker. Tigger was all ready to bounce when he heard something. He turned around and saw Pooh Bear standing about 10 feet away. But it wasn't Pooh Bear. He still had his red shirt on, but now he had some black metal on his chest and some weird red light coming from his right eye. He has several hoses sticking out of his head, leading to his back. Tigger figured he'd pounce on Pooh like he always did. As he jumped, he collided with Pooh. Rather than knock Pooh on his back, he fell to the ground in pain.
This
This
is
is-
ridiculous!
There's no quotes. It's my line. You don't
I'm
get to speak
sorry.
yet. You don't get to speak yet. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you?
Hey, I mean, Pooh's a red shirt, so, you know.
Besides, it's spelled ridiculous.
Oh. I channeled the show, I'm sorry.
This is ridiculous, he thought. Nobody can stand up after a Tigger pounces on them, let alone hold them off. He looked up at Pooh Bear.
I am Pooh Borg. Pooh of Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
What? What?
Tigger asked, still in pain and confused.
You will understand shortly.
Pooh Borg said as he grabbed Tigger. Tigger suddenly fell unconscious, and both he and Pooh disappeared in a strange green glow. The huge gray cube hovering above took off. Unbeknownst to Pooh or Tigger, Eeyore was watching this whole thing. He knew Tigger was ready to bounce him, but he did not expect any of this. He realized he should tell someone of this. As he took off towards Christopher Robin's house, he didn't realize that his tail fell off. At Christopher Robin's house, things were in an uproar. Kanga and Roo were there. So was Gopher. Christopher was there, pacing back and forth. Owl returned. Christopher walked up to him.
Still no sign.
No, my good fellow. I don't know where Pooh, Tigger, or Piglet are. I did see Eeyore making his way here, though.
How about Rabbit?
I did see Rabbit. He appears to need help. He was laying down in his cabbage patch. I went down by him and it appeared he needed help.
Laying down?
It appeared to me that he was knocked down.
Gopher spoke up.
Perhaps we should go in search of the stuck-up bear, Rabbit, Piglet, and Tigger.
Roo jumped up and down. Kanga agreed immediately, except Christopher Robin and Owl. They were all set to take off when Eeyore rushed in the door.
I saw Pooh Bear, but he wasn't Pooh Bear. He knocked Tigger out somehow and disappeared. The strange gray cube above him took off in the sky.
Owl smiled. This is great that he had to read that. Owl smiled. This would be some story to tell. Christopher thought for a moment.
Owl, you go out and get Rabbit. Bring him back here. Gopher, you go to Piglet's house and see what happened to him.
Right away, Christopher Robin.
They both said and left in their respective ways.
Eeyore, where's your tail?
They must have fallen
Eeyore said.
again.
We'll get it when the danger is over. It turns out Piglet was in his house. He was sweeping in front, and the wind had blown him into a pile of leaves. He stumbled his way out of the leaves and made his way back to the door. But he thought he was seeing things. Pooh Bear had some kind of black shirt on and a weird red light by his eye. Piglet walked up to him.
Well, hello, Pooh Bear.
Pooh of Borg faced him down. Piglet stopped smiling as he saw Pooh's face. There was no hint of friendliness in his face at all, only an immensely scary evil.
I am Pooh of Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. You will drop your honeypots and escort us to Christopher Robin. If you attempt to intervene, Tigger will bounce you.
Tigger? But Tigger's not anywhere around here. My honeypots? They're in here. And no, you can't have them. You ate all my honey last week, Pooh Bear.
Gopher chose this moment to tunnel up to the surface.
What's going on?
Pooh of Borg looked at him with his red sensor scope.
I am Pooh of Borg. Resistance is futile. You will drop your honeypots and escort us to Christopher Robin. If you attempt to intervene, Tigger will bounce you.
Piglet produced his honeypots.
Here they are, Pooh Bear. But you can't have them.
Suddenly, Tigger of Borg appeared and bounced Piglet. As he did, Piglet was sliced in two by a strange white beam and a blue beam emanating from above. Gopher looked up and saw this huge gray cube. Terrified, he dug back into the ground. Pooh of Borg left the now dead Piglet and stared into the hole.
We killed Rabbit. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated.
In the meantime, Owl had brought Rabbit back to Christopher Robin at a most inopportune time. See, 40 of Rabbit's friends had converged at Christopher's house. Rabbit's birthday was in a few days, and they were going to throw him a surprise party. But when they saw what happened to him, they were outraged.
Oh God, that's me.
Yeah.
Should I make you mad, Pencil?
No, please don't. Please
All right.
don't. No, please don't. Please
All right,
don't.
I won't on this one. I won't on this one.
Please don't. I don't like that voice. Please don't. I genuinely don't like it. Please don't.
We must get back at the person who did this.
And he is the leader of it, who's actually Marge Simpson. And an Enigma says, I totally agree.
I totally spy agree.
Said Storl, another rabbit. One by one, all 40 rabbits said some variation of the same thing. Suddenly, Gopher tunneled up.
Something's happened to Pooh Bear. He's been changed. He's bad. Real bad. He killed Piglet. And he's on his way here.
Hanson spoke up.
What about Rabbit?
Pooh
said, oh, sorry.
We're going places with this one. This is just getting worse every day. Pooh said he killed Rabbit too. I don't know what's happening to him, but he's not our Pooh Bear.
Did you see Tigger?
Tigger is with Pooh too. He said he was part of the Borg, whatever that is.
Some time ago, Christopher Robin had divided the 100-acre wood into 360 equal parts, with his house being part 360. So all the rabbits all decided to converge on part 359, just outside of one of Christopher Robin's house, to destroy what was now Pooh of Borg.
Are you sure that's wise?
Christopher said.
Oh God, that's me too.
Mm-hmm.
We must avenge Rabbit's death. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have carrots.
Hanson said. He waved to the others.
Let's go.
All 40 of the rabbits stormed out to part 359.
Should I follow?
Owl said.
No,
Said Christopher Robin.
maybe they can stop this new poo.
All 40 rabbits converged at part 359. In hardly any time, Pooh of Borg and Tigger of Borg showed up.
I am Pooh of Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. You will drop your honeypots and escort us to Christopher Robin. If you attempt to intervene, Tigger will bounce you.
Are you enjoying your many varied lines there, Milk?
Milk of Borg is enjoying his lines.
One by one, all the rabbits were bounced by Tigger being cut in half as neatly as Piglet was. That is, except for one rabbit, Gordon, here and back to the others. He burst into Christopher Robin's house. Priest, would you do the honors?
Run! Run for your lives! There's no way we can stop him!
Gordon then jumped out a window and ran away. Pooh of Borg appeared at the door.
Finally, Christopher Robin, you will come with us.
But you can't leave here. You're just a stuffed animal.
I would like to say thank you, Milk, for correcting the me, because there is no me in the Borg. There's only us. So there you go.
The Borg are one.
Thank you. Suddenly, a blue light from the heavens above appeared and emanated all the ensemble into Christopher Robin's house, except for Christopher himself. Christopher cowered in a corner.
Please don't hurt me.
He said in a tiny voice. Pooh of Borg and Tigger of Borg grabbed Christopher Robin, and all three disappeared in a green glow. And no one noticed a huge gray cube hovering above Christopher's house fly away. On its way into space, it fired a small but bright blue-white beam at Gordon, who was promptly fried. And no one... Good job. And no one then heard the voice of many of the Borg saying...
Resistance is futile.
Resistance
The 100
futile.
Yes.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. The 100-acre wood was now devoid of life. And you thought this would have a happy ending?
The Borg find this ending very happy.
All right, so what do we think of this ancient fanfic?
They got the Borg's pronouns wrong.
It's right. They're supposed to be they them.
I know, it's literally they them. It's like, God, fuck.
I hate how correct you are.
I don't think it would matter what fucking pronouns you used.
No,
The Borg is us.
The Borg would never say me or I. If they did, that's an indication that something has gone terribly wrong, and this unit must be brought in for maintenance.
Right.
Disbelief is shattered.
But they, them, and no, I don't think it would matter. He, she, her, they, them. It wouldn't really matter
It would
that
still-
way.
They would refer to themselves as a collective using they and them or pronouns of that particular range.
Mm.
They don't refer to an individual.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
they
that's
don't.
Yeah, but anyway, the joke is that was actually correct, and I'm mad about it. So there we go. Wherever you are, Mr. Malik, I sincerely hope you're having a good life, and I hope you look back on this fic with love in your heart. All right, we're gonna move on to one of the easiest fics. Enigma, I'm assuming you cannot read right now. Yes, you are done for the day.
I am done for right now because I can't embarrass myself in front of coworkers, damn it. And just strangers. That's one. Coworkers is another.
I
You can
totally
do that
understand.
just fine all by yourself.
I understand and respect that. Thank you for doing the first two stories with us, Enigma. Appreciate it.
Can I grab more alcohol?
Yes, because the next one is going to be a chore.
Yeah, I need a second to get a drink.
You need it. Because Rab, you best be ready. Oh yeah.
Am I the narrator for this one?
Yeah.
No, fuck.
All right. So real quick, if you want to help us donate money to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary, all of our profits go there. You can donate bits, or you can donate to our Patreon, or you can donate directly to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary. They're in Central Southern California. And they take in horses that have been displaced or have been abused, and they rehabilitate them and either find them loving homes or keep them forever. They even take care of herds of wild horses they don't have the land to live on anymore. So they're really fucking cool. And so yeah, that's how you do that. and it's great. We make no money off of this. We just do this. Also, if you donate bits at the end, I will read off your name to say thank you. Yes, if you feel bad about your writing, just read this next story. This is going to get bad. This is going to get bad in a hurry. And then our last story of the day, I'll give a little preface on the last story of the day. It's going to be a time. It's almost 3,000 words. It's one of our longer stories that we usually do in one sitting. But we should still finish it in time, and you guys are going to fucking suffer. But this one is quick. This one is very quick. It's less than 1,000 words. Just are you looking at this, Rav? Are you looking at this story?
I'm hung up on the author's name. Fucking edgelord bullshit.
Make sure you're on chapter 1 and just
I
glance
am.
at some of the writing.
Oh dear fuck.
Yeah, I warned you.
Alright, well, if I have to suffer reading this, you're gonna suffer through a voice.
No, please don't do that voice. Please, 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 please.
I'm gonna do a sexy Dr. Oxo coming at you live from my living room, baby.
I'm actually genuinely asking. That voice genuinely bothers me. That's not me joking around or
I
fucking
know,
around.
I know.
Please don't. But no, honestly, I wouldn't try to do a special voice with this. If you,
I'm not.
it's just gonna be hard enough as it is to read it. I'm sure people on the screen can look in and like.
Oh yeah, they can see the bullshit that is this chapter.
Yep, all of it's bad. We're all bad. Waiting for the boys to get back. Are the boys back in town? Milk?
Maybe
Lucy
if you
Pie?
didn't have that yee ass haircut, you'd get some bitches on your dick. Ooh woo.
I guess.
If you want to bring the boys, you gotta. If you want to bring the boys, you gotta go.
No. That's how I bring cats. It's my milkshake that brings all the boys to the yard.
They're like?
Yeah, they're guys. They're like guys. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, you.
Where's milk?
They're oh, I remember the line. Yeah, better than yours.
It's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to stretch it. I know
It's
the whole
been
fucking
so
song. goddamn.
long since I've heard that.
Come on.
Wait,
Should we get?
okay, no shit. I do know the song front to back, but I haven't heard it in so long. I forgot it.
My milkshake brings your butts to the yard. Are you back now?
Hey, Pencil.
I agree.
Hey, Pencil.
What?
You know who I want to thank?
Who?
Another TV viewer. Empty Plot Filler. Ice Wizards. Kaiden Del Rose. Kitten Rescue. Moose Tasm. Opium for the Masses. Skip Talk and Wrecking God. And Red Wings Horse Sanctuary.
Yeah, I already did a mid-roll ad, so you don't have to worry about that. But thank you for thanking our viewers one by one. That's really sweet of you.
No, you.
Anyway, we have a story, and it is called Sherlock, spelled with one K. It is written by Darth Hilo 666.
Is it ever?
And it's this is defined as a story we are reading just because it needs to be observed. It is that bad. So today reading it will be Priest, you're gonna play Sherlock.
Yes.
Rav, you're gonna narrate.
Hmm.
Milk, you're gonna play John, which is what they call Watson throughout this.
Oh, okay.
And I will be playing Girl and Hudson and Lestrade, which is spelled. It's spelled special. I'll put it that way. Sometimes it's spelled Lestrade. So, shall we begin this? Just get ready to drink.
All right. Sherlock by Darth Kylo 666. Sherlock Holmes will save a murder and maybe find ... love. Last updated May 16th, 2017.
Thank God.
Right?
Yeah.
Chapter 1. Sherlock Holmes. Oh God, it's not Holmes. It's Sherlock. No. Shellrock Holmes.
Yep.
God damn it. Oh god, I wish I had more alcohol.
You can do this. Just do your best to get through it without
I'm
talking.
not even 2 words in and I
I
fucking
know.
screwed
Please
it up.
try. Please try.
Shellrock Holmes was tall and looked like Benedict Cumberbatch, and John Waston was a doc, uh, doctor like and like looked like Morgan Freeman.
No.
They god damn it. I can't do this. Is so bad.
Would you like to switch?
They-
Do you want to be the girl?
No, I'll try it. Let's see if I can actually make it. They live in a hose on 21 Baker Street where they live in an also to save crime. One day Sherlock was instigating a murder. he wear he wear a scarf and a cot. There was one dead body. It was a man who got shot by a gun in his flat. A flat is like a house but British. Anyways, so Sherlock was looking to see it. Sherlock used his sociopath power to see it more close.
This man was Murdred.
But who?
Demanded John.
There is only one people to make murder like this. It's Lestat.
He accused his finger at Lestud.
No, but he's a police.
Yelled
But
John.
even the police will kill a murder.
Yelled Shellrock. He arsed Lestud, and then he went home and injected some cocaine type drugs, but also a goddamn dude, Vialan.
He ejected
Jesus
a
fucking Christ.
Vialan.
Apparently.
You saved a murder.
God, I wish my veins were that fucking big. Holy fuck. Congrats, the Huston.
But no.
One tear said from Sherlock eye.
Is this how my life is? This how my life is? Always save a fucking murderer. My life's just not complete.
He play a angry but also sad on the Vialan. Also, he ejected some cock. John went to hug him, but Shellrock's not gay, so no.
You're not the one for me, okay?
He said he said straightly except not cuz he was in love with a woman cuz he was a bitch and he just pretended fake to not to love her and got her phone password. That's not a real love,
Can I help you?
said John.
No, life's just fucking boring!
Yelled Sherlock. But not anymore, 'cause right then a girl whacked through his door to 21 Banker Street. She not just any girl. God damn, we're regressing to caveman speak here. She was hot, but also long black hair and a scarf like Sherlock, and she wore all leather black. Also, mistress smile danced on her red lips, but she looked sad. God damn it. She also is telling the stories, so she's actually me. God fucking damn it. No, sorry. Tally me.
Yeah.
I can
Tally
feel how
ho!
hard.
Tally ho!
I can feel how hard you're cringing, Rav.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that I was laughing earlier, my eyes are watering, and I've been rubbing my eyes, and they fucking sting.
If we only have 2 chapters, it's very short. We can do it. Then we can move on to something else.
Shellrock turned on his sociopath power to read my mind, but he was only confused. I guess that's how you say that. Confused, because he could not.
Who are you?
He asked me.
If you're Sherlock Holmes, your powers will tell you this.
I said cleverly. Sherlock shook his head.
My powers tell me nothing.
This was because I was contusing his brain with love. All right, we lost one.
Enigma just no.
He got a contusion. But he did not know this yeet.
Now it's my turn.
I said.
Your name is Sherlock Holmes, and that's John Watson. And old woman is Hudson, your servant lady.
He opened his mouth in Empress, sorry.
How did you do this? It's like you're psychic.
I will tell you.
I said. There will be more next chipster.
All right, can we do it? One more chapter, guys?
I think I'm gonna have a contusion.
Would you like to switch, Rav?
No, I got it. Now I talk cavemen speak. I good.
Okay, good luck.
Right?
Oh my god. It did not get better.
No,
It doesn't look like it either.
we can do this.
Chapter 2, the mysterious girl. Goddamn, you'd think I was the one who couldn't fucking read. Author's note, she's not really a girl. BC, she's 18. If she was 16, that would be gross and illegal. Wow, pervert. Seriously?
Oh my god.
What the fuck? This is. I swear to God. It's affecting my brain. I almost said she wrote in the wrong context. Fucking Christ. I stared at Sherlock Holmes with power. I was not accurately psychic. I was deducting like he does BC. That's really epic. But BC, I was more deductful than him. In is it parentheses?
Yeah, just say. Just
Yeah,
say what's
in parentheses, I'm a psychopath. No, sorry, sociopath. But like a normal one, but with epic powers like Sherlock. End parentheses. I decided to pretend I was psychic to see if he could tell.
I gotta say, it's really concerning that this person thinks that being a sociopath is cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
that's what Sherlock did, right? Like the show definitely like kind of glorified mental illness in a lot of ways. Like
We're
Yeah.
not going to talk about the show because I'm guessing most of us haven't seen it. Is that correct, gentlemen?
I have, actually. I've watched it from start to finish.
Okay.
secret fourth
Implying we'll never
episode.
care.
I've seen this show,
trying to
and I've
say
seen
let's
the
not
old ass
because it's got-
movies.
Trying to say let's not because it's got a fuck ton of spoilers if we talk about it. So
Right.
Spoilers
Yeah.
is nuts.
thank you. Well, if you're really Sherlock Holmes, then you can tell who I am with your deductive powers.
I challenged him. He looked at me with passion.
Oh my god. My socopathicness is broken, but only with you. That must mean that you're a socopath?
John was confessed, like Lestrade is all the time, except when John is confessed, his face is really stupid and he looks like a fucking clown. In parentheses, a stupid one, like on a kid's show, not like on an epic Halloween one. In parentheses.
John.
I thought you were psychic.
Shut up, John. There's no sick kicks, but don't be a bloody idiot. That's what British people say instead of fucking moron. I know it's weird, right? Is it still me?
Yeah, it is.
It's still you.
Sherlock went back to me.
Sorry for my friend Hez a dumbass, but Hez like my BFF, so he has to stay BC. I like it when Hez stupid. Do I just
Say-
want to continue from here?
Yeah, go.
Just say I yelled.
I yelled.
But not in a gay way, right, BC? I'm not making out with you!
That would be me, sweetheart.
Sorry.
Thank you. But not in a gay way, right? Because I'm not making out with you if you're gay, because that's weird, because I'm straight.
No, John's just my BFF, but I have secret. I'm on crack cocaine and also maybe powder heroin, and I'm not sure. And I play the violin. I play it like 24/7 all of the time.
Sherlock confessed. He was really hot when he confessed stuff. I looked at him and we started to make out, BC. We had a socopath connection. But then Lestrade waked in and said,
Sherlock, we need you. Someone got killed with a knife, and I don't know who did it.
Sherlock whirled around and said,
Lestrade, okay, I'm coming. Just let me make out with that hot socopath.
John was confessed again.
Wait, didn't you arrest him?
Sherlock was annoyed, BC. John's a dumbass all the fucking time.
What the John? That was a trap for the real culprit. Come on, keep up. Lestrade.
Oh, it's
I'm
me,
a.
I guess. I'm Lestrade. Hurry up, because it's a really epic crime, and if we don't solve it, then a person might get killed. Maybe, John?
Lestrade was in a hurry, so we left. I decided to come BC. They might need my epic socopath powers.
The fucking
Holy-
end.
I think
I feel my brain draining down my throat.
I need some SoCo after this.
Do you feel like you had a stroke reading this? Because I fucking do.
My strongs are up.
All of
I'm having a strong.
Yeah.
Quick, call a bondulance.
Yeah.
God
All right.
damn it.
Well, we did it, guys. We got through it, and I'm proud of us. Jesus Christ. All right. We have one more story today, just one, and that's all we're reading, and then we're done. But I've saved the best for last. In the annals of internet fanfiction, there's a rather famous story called Root Her by Michael Collins. Root Her is a Jurassic Park fanfiction, and it is known to be one of the best bad sex fanfictions anywhere.
Oh
And
God.
it involves a velociraptor, and it involves sex. And it's just some of the language used in this, even I have to say, is beautiful. It is just, why would you come up with that metaphor kind of good? Unfortunately, it was purged from the internet entirely. There are recordings of it here and there. And you can listen to someone else read it. You can also find blogs with pieces of it and quotes. But, and don't ask me how I fucking did this, I managed to find a copy of it and put it together. It took a lot of searching, and it took some copy and pasting from multiple sources, but I was able to find it in its entirety and put it together in a Google Doc. So now I have one of the only full copies of this story on the internet. And so we're going to read it today. So you get to enjoy this with us. The narrator is going to be Priest.
Hi.
Muldoon will be Rav.
I can't do it, Captain.
Milk, you're going to be the Latino worker.
No hablo español.
And I will be Joffrey. If anyone was here, Joffrey. If anyone was here, I'd force him to do dinosaur sound effects. He's not, so you're just going to have to think it real hard in your head. It's actually fairly well written. It's not the best, but it's better well written than other things. Just take a deep breath. Has everyone got a drink? Is everyone ready for this legendary story?
Why not?
Don't sound so excited. It's gonna be fun. Look, it's not that long. I see you checking the word count. It's less than 3,000 words. It's less than 3,000 words. It's just big text, so it's easier for us to read. That's all. Okay.
Can I be really stupid and ask a question that you already have said? What is this based on?
I've seen hentai. I know where this is going.
Jurassic Park. It's not based on anything. This is Jurassic Park. How do you? It's Root Her. I mentioned Velociraptors. How do you not know this is about Jurassic Park? How did you miss this?
There's Velociraptors in a lot of things.
Bruh. It's Root Her. Root Her. Come on, it's the line. It's the line. Shoot her. Fucking yeah. Jurassic Park.
See, I heard root her, and my mind immediately went to, oh, I've seen too much hentai to know where this is going.
Okay, I was thinking like the Evil Dead bad scene.
No, as in to root somebody.
Uh,
This is a term for fucking someone.
Yeah.
Are we gonna fuck a dinosaur? I'm in! Alright!
I thought the word was rutting.
Priest, did you not hear when I introduced the story just now how I said it involves sex with a velociraptor?
Oh, we heard. We're just
Priest
assholes.
Priest fucking didn't.
This is Root Her by Michael Collins.
Fuck ass.
Robert Muldoon was not a man to be trifled with. For years, he had plied his trade as a big game hunter in Kenya, utilizing every scrap of his savage cunning and imposing physical frame, as well as his arsenal of highly explosive weaponry, to outsmart, outmaneuver, and out-explode some of the mightiest and most dangerous creatures known to nature. He was normally as patient as a stone, and would spend hours, even days at a time, rooted to the spot, silently waiting for his quarry to show up so that he could decorate his lion skull cabin with more lion skulls. Nonetheless, today, his patience was wearing thin.
It's this bloody island.
He thought to himself, ever since he accepted the job at InGen, working at their new tourist attraction. He'd been effectively confined to the role of construction overseer, an occupation wholly at odds with his hands-on, heads-off personality, and he couldn't deny he was beginning to feel restless. Just as he was contemplating a change in career, his self-reflection was cut off by a loud, metallic clang as the final pylon was hauled into place atop the heavy-duty maximum security enclosure being erected behind him, reminding him that it had been a long, long time since he'd been involved in erections of a more personal nature.
Oh, God.
This is going some places. What the fuck?
It's gonna be fun, guys. I just trust me. There's a reason I went out of my way to find this.
Absently, he adjusted his crotch as he picked up his radio and signaled the foreman that the enclosure was ready for its occupants. Hoisting himself on yes.
Look,
Hoisting himself
You do.
Hoisting himself onto a platform above the solid metal gate, he looked out over the large tropical forest surrounding him and began to wait for the transport cage to arrive. The forest itself was of the lush green palm variety normally associated with small islands located off the coast of Costa Rica, and was superbly lit by a completely dark night sky, almost as if some celestial lighting assistant had a hand in it somehow.
Hola, Senor Muldoon.
One of the workers called to him as they passed by. Muldoon peered at him, trying to make out who it was.
Oh, yes?
He said as he thought as the recognition set in.
That'll be young Jeffrey. God, I cannot stick with this fucking accent.
You're trying. I appreciate you attempting it, but no, you do not have to try to do that. I think AIDS would be ashamed of you if you did.
Mm.
Joffrey, also called Jeffrey, also called Johnfley, was called one of those few men on the island who never really got accredited for anything. One of those men that InGen CEO John Hammond constantly referred to as our delightfully...
I was going to be
Oh,
John.
please, no, go for it, go for it.
Our delightfully expendable workforce.
Muldoon nodded curtly to the young Joffrey, making sure to maintain eye contact for slightly longer than was socially acceptable. What? Why? Joffrey smiled back coquettishly and gave him an almost effeminate wink.
Oh no, I know where this is going and I don't like it anymore.
Wiping his mouth slightly, Muldoon once more adjusted himself and went back to surveying the surrounding area, trying very hard not to think about how long it had been since he'd given his rifle a good cocking. After what seemed like an eternity atop the platform, but was really only a couple of seconds, give or take a second or two. Okay. A mighty roar sounded out across the acres of thickly carpeted wilderness. One by one in the distance, trees began to crash to the floor as if some massive reptilian behemoth were charging towards them.
About bloody time.
Muldoon thought to himself as the bulldozer finally emerged from the overgrowth, pushing a large steel box before it. Quickly, he motioned to the other workers to help him get the enclosure door open as the bulldozer pulled up to the side, and lowered the crate with a loud thump.
All right now,
He shouted.
pushers move in. Loading team, move in. Come on, come on.
The movement of the crate, however, had clearly angered its occupant. A mighty shriek and a series of loud, high-pitched roars emanated from the slats on either side of the crate as a large, yellowish, and distinctly non-human eye peered out menacingly. The creature snapped and growled and began to hurl itself against the side of the cage, startling the workers who retreated back a few steps. Now this, Muldoon reflected, this was more like it. Angry, dangerous animals wanting nothing more than to tear him apart. This was the kind of job he could get his teeth into, whether it was due to the previous 6 months or so of utter boredom, or whether it was some other dark impulse Muldoon never knew. But almost without thinking, he covertly loosened the bolts on the door to the cage, taking great care to ensure no one saw him do so.
Right, steady.
He said to the other workers.
Get back in there now. Push. Get back in there. Don't let him know you're afraid.
You're
Gingerly,
doing a bad job, Rav. Like, it's still bad, but like, it's better than a lot of people in this chat could do. I'm just putting that out there. Please continue.
I mean, I hang out with the Australians a lot, so.
Fair.
Gingerly, the other workers approached the cage and with great effort managed to push it up against the open slot on the side of the enclosure. As it thudded against the side, a green light flicked on, indicating contact had been made. Oh, how Muldoon longed for contact. He smiled to himself. As long as the bolts on that cage door were secure, No amount of throwing itself against the side would allow the animal to escape. Quickly, he checked to make sure they were sufficiently loose.
Well, locked.
He cried.
Loading team. Step away. Joffrey. Raise the gate.
Quickly, Joffrey clambered on top of the cage and began to do as he was told. He knew all too well what manner of creature they were dealing with, and he didn't want to waste any time getting it securely behind those 12-foot thick concrete walls and lined with high voltage electric fences. As he leaned forward to grab the gate release, however, the creature made its move. With a loud shriek, it threw itself against the panel next to the bolts Muldoon had loosened, ripping the door from its hinges and knocking the cage back, sending Joffrey crashing onto the unforgiving jungle floor below and jarring every bone in his body. Howling in triumph, the creature shot out a brown, scaly limb and sunk a vicious, saber-like claw into the workman's fleshy ankle, tearing through the muscle and bone and locking itself firmly in place.
Are you hungry, priest?
Joffrey screamed at the top of his lungs, and he was dragged forcefully back inside the cage, powerless to resist the creature's superior strength. Muldoon suppressed an excited grin as he immediately began to shout instructions to the panic-stricken construction crew.
Hazers! Get in there, goddammit! You there!
He motioned to one of the dumbstruck engineers.
Bring me 4 trank rifles, a vial of nerve toxins, and a camera, goddammit! And make sure it's bloody video camera this time.
Joffrey howled in terror as his ankles to stay put failed.
As his ankles to stay put?
Jo-
Did his
Joffrey
ankles stay put?
The dinos balling and broke Joffrey's ankles.
I just imagined like his feet staying planted and the fucking velociraptor just snapping his ankle. Sorry, it's just the visual is beautiful. Oh, that visual is lovely.
That is
Thank
not
you
how
for
that is not how we perform snoo snoo.
that.
Joffrey howled in terror as his efforts to stay put failed. Unable to break the creature's hold, he cracked his head brutally against the side of the cage and lost all ability to resist as his senses became groggy. A rank odor of decaying meat and feces lined
English spelling.
the air of the cage, and it was all he could do to suppress his gag reflex the way his gym teacher had taught him. Whoa.
Damn.
As his head cleared slightly, he was able to make out the dreadful blast which had just snared him.
Beast. It was a beast, not a blast.
As his head cleared slightly, he was able to make out the dreadful beast which had just snared him. Standing at almost 8 feet high, with mottled brown and green skin and rows of curved, serrated teeth, was Velociraptor Anteropus. And Anterophus?
I think you had it right the first time, but I'm not sure.
It is Anteropus, yes.
Anthropus, okay.
A killing machine of almost unsurpassed intelligence, lethality, and sexual appetite. Its long forearms ended in 5 muscular digits, each sporting an intimidating-looking claw. It leered at him wickedly, and Joffrey knew his end was nigh. Strangely enough, though, he didn't really mind. While Joffrey would have preferred not to die, the prehistoric Jack the Ripper was somehow the most beautiful creature he'd ever seen. From her lustrous amber eyes to her graceful prehensile tail, all the way to her muscular thighs. Oh, its smooth, curvy foot claws. It would be an honor to be ravaged by such a goddess. Blissfully, and with complete disregard for his mutilated ankle and gashed open head, he reached out and smiled at the creature as she reared up and opened her jaws. By now, the activity outside the cage had reached pandemonium status. Frightened workers ran around like headless compies trying to find a secure way to secure the cage and free their colleague. In a state of calm bliss, Muldoon strode over to the radio and casually informed the Jurassic Park Control Center that they were ready for other raptors now, and while they were at it, perhaps a few crates of strong alcohol and some women's clothing.
Oh, no.
Sir, excuse me, what the fuck?
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Almost trembling with anticipation, but remaining outwardly stoic nonetheless, he loosened his belt and struck a match to light his pre-coital cigarette with. 6 damn months. Well, now he was going to get some release. Grabbing the side of the broken cage, he hauled himself up and peeked through a gap in the roof to see how things were progressing. The velociraptor had parted her jaws and looked about to strike, but suddenly she seemed to stop, as if unsure of herself. Joffrey was confused. Why hadn't this hot, Cretaceous babe mauled him like he was the filthy descendant of a wretched shrew-like thing he was? Why was he not being lovingly absorbed by the digestive system of this perfect, carrion-scented Aphrodite?
Vor fetish, got it.
Almost as if he dared not speculate, he glanced up at her, still expecting the final strike that would end his sexually confused mammalian existence, and saw at once that it would not come. Her eyes were still marked by a ferocious hunger, but it was not for shredded meat that she seemed to slaver. She clearly wanted that meat intact. Joffrey couldn't believe his luck. Slowly she backed away from him, then coyly turned around so her bird-like hips were on full display mere inches from his face. From this angle, he could see her smooth, hairless slit. As he began to drool, she started to shake her hips from side to side seductively, delicately spraying him with gallons upon gallons of dinosaur sex pheromones.
Delicately now. Delicately now.
She had in some gland that all velociraptors had, but that didn't get fossilized with the rest of them because it was too soft somehow.
Alrighty then.
This is some plot hole fixing you can see. He's really backtracking to fix that
It's
one.
gonna get better. It's the next time. I have like 2 lines, I think, and one of them is the fucking.
Cautiously at first, lest he somehow alarm her or turn her off, Joffrey began to rub the area across her velocigina.
Oh my god.
Can I get a readback of that word, please?
Joffrey began to lightly rub the area around her velocigina.
Oh
No, hold
my-
on. Hold on. Joffrey began to lightly rub the area around her velocigina with his chin, nuzzling the rough pebble-like folds of skin surrounding it with his tongue. The creature howled with a terrifying primordial delight and thrust herself back against Joffrey's mouth, knocking out his front teeth and ramming his lower jaw deep inside of her.
Jesus Christ.
I can do it, I promise. It's just.
Joffrey whispered seductively as he continued to work his magic on her with his mouth parts, delicately teasing her harsh, sandpaper-like clitoris as he did so.
Dad, I hope you're enjoying this.
Opium for the masses! If you're fapping right now, I hope you get there, buddy. From his vantage point on top of the cage, Muldoon could see that things were progressing far better than he could have ever hoped for.
You there!
He shouted at the engineer again, who had returned with the equipment he had been asked to retrieve.
Get up here and set up that video. God damn it.
You got it.
Get up here and set up that video camera up. God damn it. Why do I keep. That is such a habit. Alright. The rest of you, find some bloody tasers.
The velociraptor continued to bellow and howl and echo her savage, predatorial joy across the construction site as Joffrey brought her halfway to climax. With one exaggerated movement, she threw her hips violently to one side, dislodging Joffrey's lower jaw from her deep, hot minge and hammering him against the side of the cage. Winded, he collapsed to the floor, his face a brutal-looking mess of blood, bone, flesh, dinosaur sex pheromones, and primeval vaginal juices. The velociraptor was a merciless predator, but she was not a selfish lover. It was time to reciprocate. As Joffrey lay battered on the cage floor, barely able to move, she approached him and lightly rested her perfectly shaped foot on his crotch. Even though his dislocated
True.
muscle, even through his dislocated muscle, she could feel the bulge. She grinned, as all velociraptors are pretty much forced to do because of their bone structure, with one deft flick. I'm going to take that again. She grinned, as all velociraptors are pretty much forced to do because of their bone structure. And with one deft flick of her curved toe claw, she tore through the lining of his pants and exposed his engorged, throbbing member. Joffrey mumbled with ecstasy through his maimed features as the creature appraised him. She was mildly disappointed at the lack of insemination barbs on his manhood, but she had come too far now, invested too much time to stop the process this close to completion. Wrapping her tail around his waist, she pulled him to his feet and slammed herself back against his erect cock, moaning wickedly as it pushed apart the sides of her opening and entered her. Little bubbles of pleasure formed in the black-red foam of Joffrey's mouth as she forced herself further back, taking him deep inside her. On top of the cage, the camera was nearly ready. Muldoon could take no more. Whipping off his safari shorts and pulling out his very own big game, he wrapped his hands around it and began to rhythmically jerk off to the confused and terrified engineer pointed the camera where he was told to.
He wasn't jacking it to the engineer. He was just jacking it.
Okay. Ooh, that's right. Get it all on tape. All on tape.
He groaned as he energetically pumped his purple shotgun.
What the fuck?
Doom music plays now.
How could this happen to me?
No, actually it's da 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 da.
How could this happen to me of all people? I regret reading this.
The velociraptor was grinding and bucking back against Joffrey with his terrifying savagery now, and she could feel the warmth beginning to build up in her nether regions as his rock-hard dick slammed in and out of her orifice. Fervently, she rocked against the side of the cage, ignoring Joffrey's impassioned gurgling noises as she brought herself closer and closer to a meteoric climax.
Shooting.
Muldoon moaned as he prepared to do some shooting of his own.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
Finally, the raptor could take it no more, squealing as if she intended to drown out all other sounds that had ever been made by anything in the history of ever. She came hard and fast, her vaginal walls constricting around Joffrey like a vice as wave after wave of putrid velociraptor love. Tabasco squirted everywhere, dousing the floor and walls of the cage in a layer of horribleness half an inch thick. Joffrey screamed in agony as his frail, warm-blooded member was crushed by this merciless barrage and desperately tried to pull out of her, but it was too late. In a final act of climax, she spun around again, taking him with her and cracking his spine in two. Acting on pure instinct, she sank her powerful jaws into the sides of his skull and bit down hard, ripping his head clean in half and scattering flesh and blood everywhere. As her teeth entered his brain, they triggered his pleasure and pain senses, sending him at once into the most discerningly intense agony a human being can possibly experience, and bringing him to such heights of ecstasy as humankind can only dream of. Then he died.
Oh my god.
Pog. Then, as she wolfed down what had once been the greater part of a young man's head, her body was racked by more uncontrollable spasms. She writhed and flopped all over the cage, all movement out of her control as the by now rallied workers fired taser shot after taser shot through the cage door, each one making contact with her and sending powerful electric shocks through her body, a sound not dissimilar to that of a shot not dissimilar to that of a former Kenyan gamekeeper ejaculating emanated from the cage roof above. As she spasmed on the floor, she could feel a sticky, warm liquid trickle onto her from above.
Oh, yes, they should all be destroyed.
Muldoon groaned to himself as he shot his load through the hole of the cage roof and sank happily to his knees. As the workers continued to shock the velociraptor in submission, a low rumbling noise was heard.
Oh, jolly good.
Muldoon thought to himself.
Sounds like there's others on the way.
Excitedly, he pulled his shorts back up and rallied the remaining workforce.
Come on, you lot.
He declared.
One down, 7 more to go.
From that day forward, working for InGen didn't seem nearly so bad.
I beg to differ.
You did it, guys. You got through the story.
As someone who had sex before, this is exactly what it's like.
What, she trying to bust your head off?
I mean, accurate. Well, I mean,
Well,
was it with a woman, no milk?
gay sex.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's fair.
Gay sex involves much less, like, killing your partner and eating them.
That's true. I died once, but I got better.
So what did we think of this quite legendary story?
I could have gone my whole life without never hearing this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You did a great job with your life.
I'm in that same boat right there.
I think I saw this on E621 once.
Milk,
Damn
you
it.
were fucking dying when Free said gallons and gallons.
Nice. Fucking good enough.
Dinosaur
Just the way it was described, delicately, gallons and gallons. Like, how do you delicately do something with gallons and gallons?
Very delicately. That's how you do it.
It's not how it works.
I'll give you gallons of my sex pheromone, baby. I see you all out there in the chat.
Yeah, we see your chat tapping it to like, as far as like violent, like sexual destruction, death stories. This is probably one of the funnier ones. I'll be honest.
I laughed and it was a time.
Well, we did it, guys. We got through another shit-faced shit fix. So, thank you so much for joining us. If nothing else, if you just came for the last story, that's fine too. It was great. Remember to donate to Red Wings Horse Sanctuary. Remember to drink responsibly. Any final closing thoughts on this, guys?
I do. Can we
Yeah.
just like take a? I don't think we've ever done this before. We've done a lot of episodes of Shitface Shitfix. Can we just take a second to appreciate Pencil for curating all of these stories and finding all of this horrifying nature? Like, congratulations, Pencil.
Congratulations, Shinjing. Congratulations, Shinjing. Thank you. I hope to do so more. We're probably gonna do a viewer choice special coming up sometime next month. Well, I mean, it's you know what happens next month, don't you?
It's spooky season.
Oh, I know what happens next month. Now I remember.
What happens during spooky season, Priest?
Pencil birthday.
My birthday. It's my birthday.
Are we gonna pay more special attention to folks that give suggestions via the Patreon?
Yes, if you are a Patreon person and you suggest a story, we're far more likely to read it. So please do.
Sounds like a good reason to donate even just $1 to Patreon.
Are you just eating, Priest?
No.
What are you eating?
After
After that story, you're eating. That's amazing.
peanut butter tortilla.
You were just like, Velociraptor killed somebody, Nathan. Gotta get me something to eat.
He needs a taco.
Gotta rinse that down with a gallon of pheromone.
Isn't that just Mountain Dew?
Oh God.
It can be Mountain Dew.
No, Mountain, you're due.
I'll do
Oh,
your
baby.
mountain. Like, come on.
I'll do it on the mountain.
No,
I can do it on the mountain for you.
I'll give
now-
you my diet cock.
All right, we need to wrap this up because at this point we're just being fuckheads. Thank you for coming to Shitface Shitfix. Your readers for this evening have been Flutter Priest,
Mexican diet cock.
Milk,
This is pain.
Ravage.
I can't Australian.
Enigma's here for like a hot minute, and I have been a non-pencil. Join us soon to read a story about Goku having a sexual relationship with Anne Frank. Bye.
Oh God.
Wait a second. Am I the